I mean, I have a very clear memory of when my Dylan obsession started. You know, I grew up knowing those records. I had his greatest hits record when it came out with the Milton Glaser poster and all that stuff. And I was, you know, I was pretty familiar with those records. They were part of the milieu at that point. If you were listening to pop music and music on the radio, you couldn't avoid Dylan's songs. And you know, I was listening to them alongside the Beatles and Led Zeppelin or whatever else was going on in that period. It didn't grab me in this really obsessive way then. My Dutch buddy, who was kind of our tour manager at the time, had cassettes of Biograph. And I was pretty familiar with that music. I wasn't deep into his alternate tracks and alternate cuts and things like that. There's a version, an acoustic take of Visions of Johanna on there.
Just like the night, they play tricks when you're trying to be so quiet. We sit here stranded, though we all do our best to deny it.
Somehow listening to that through, listening to, maybe because it was acoustic, I had a greater sense of how amazing the lyrics are in that song. And something about that just grabbed me. I think there were a couple days in the car where I just listened to it over and over again. Like I'd get to the end, I'd rewind the cassette and listen to the same song again and again. Like I must have listened to it 10 or 15 times over the course of like 2 days. It just opened up the whole world of his music to me. And I was starting to try and write lyrics in a different manner, and that stuff was super influential, especially in Daydream Nation period, in terms of what I was writing. You know, one of the songs on that record, Eric's Trip, lyrics were taken from Andy Warhol's Chelsea Girls film, and I was looking around for different ways to write lyrics, and the wordplay that I found in Visions of Johanna, and then some of the other songs in that period, and especially hearing these acoustic versions of those songs without all of the instrumentation around them. I don't know, there was just something about that stuff that sent me, it was the start of me jumping into the rabbit hole. And from that point on, it just got deeper and deeper. I wanted to read everything I could about him, and I wanted to hear every single record, and especially started collecting bootleg records at that point. It's all these bootlegs that were out of that 66 tour and 65 tour, and just being inspired over and over again by what I was hearing.